Hi, scholars, and welcome to another great day of learning. We're your teachers today. I'm Miss Amanda.
And I'm Miss Summer. We are so glad to be with you today for tons of fun, reading, and knowledge.
Now, I'd like to share our learning goals with you today. We're going to review the aw sound and its spellings. We're going to make some predictions about text, and we'll be using images to check and support our understanding. So our focus standards today are RI.3.1, 4 and 7, and SL.3.1.
Scholars at home, we've been learning about vowel sounds in words, specifically the aw sound. We will look at some more words today and focus on their vowel sounds.
Ah, yes, that's right. So let's get started with a little warm-up with some words with the aw sound.
We'll be reading some words to determine what vowel sounds they all have. Then we will sort the words by the vowel spellings. Finally, we will label our sorts with the correct vowel spelling.
Okay, that's a perfect plan. Now this will give us some more opportunities to practice those words and their spelling so we can read them fluently.
Let's read our words together and get ready to sort. Already, squawked, afterthought, brought, waterfall, all together. Let's sound this one out. Dull, dull, dawdle, flawless, caution, autograph, ought. That's a tricky one. Faucet, faucet, author, awkward, naughty, retaught, daughter, default.
Did you hear that common vowel sound? That's it. Aw is that common vowel sound in each word. Nice work reading all of those words with Miss Summer. Now, do remember that you already have the tools that you need to read a word. You never, ever should guess at reading a word. Use your decoding skills as your tool to read words that you don't already know. Now, Miss Summer is going to show you each word, and then we're gonna decide how to group it together and place it together with like sounds. Well, they're all like sounds, right? They're all the all, so we've already got that checked off. And then we'll look how to group them together with like spellings.
Okay, let's go. Our first word, already.
Okay.
I see the AL.
Yep.
So I'm going to put that right here.
All right, here's another one.
Retaught.
Still says all.
Still says all.
But not AL.
But not AL. That AUGH, it needs to go in a different category. So let's put it right here. Author. Oh, there's that AU. But there's no GH.
No.
Oh, that's tricky. Oh, it's got to be in a different category.
Right, it's got to be by
All
itself.
right. 3 categories so far. Oh, let's see. Waterfall. What do you think, Miss Amanda?
I hear the A all sound, and I see the A.
I do.
Right? But I see an AL this time.
And it's at the end.
There it is. So we're going to go with the already.
We're going to go with the already.
Yeah, the one that's off there already.
We have 2 in that category. That's great. Thank you for handing me the words.
I'm glad to help.
Caution. Caution. There it is.
Yep. AU, but no GH.
No GH.
Yeah,
Oh, goes with author. Yep. Daughter. There's that GH. Scholars, did you see that GH? We have got to put that with retaught. Look at there. Oh, y'all are doing awesome. Squawked.
Oh.
Now this is different.
Still
Look at
all.
there.
We still have the all sound.
But this is
AW.
AW. We have a new category. Oh,
I concur.
yes. Autograph. Right there at the
That's it.
beginning. Oh, right
Perfect.
there at the beginning. Let's see. All together. All.
There's the AL.
There's the AL. Back over here with water falling already.
Great.
All right. Awkward. There's that AW, scholars, to go with squawked.
Perfect.
Excellent.
All right.
Oh,
This one's a little tricky.
Okay,
so
I'm ready.
going to go ahead and tell you. All right, so be prepared. Scholars at home, get ready.
Okay,
You're
are you
going to have
ready?
to really look at this
Okay,
one. Okay, it's a long one, so be ready.
afterthought.
Compound word, afterthought.
There's no AU.
No. But it still says all. Afterthought.
Do y'all see it?
There you go.
OUGH.
That's
Oh
it.
my goodness, that almost got me. Oh, so glad. Okay. Oh, we sounded this one out a while ago. So dawdle, dawdle. Oh, there's that AW. Excellent.
We already have a category for that
We
one.
already have a
Perfect.
category for that one.
Perfect.
Oh, look at there. Alt. We already looked at that. So easy.
OUGH.
We've got this. Naughty. I see it, Miss Amanda. I see it. Oh no, scholars. I've made a mistake.
I was wondering if she was going to catch that.
Oh, I caught
It's a little
myself.
tricky, it's a little tricky.
That little tricky part right there. I hope it didn't trick you guys like it tricked me. Oh my goodness.
It's that
Oh,
GH.
that GH is kind of
AUGH.
sneaky, you know. You got to watch that. I'm sure glad we decoded that.
Yeah.
Default. I don't see a GH.
Good
I
eye,
don't
good
see
eye,
a
good eye.
GH. Oh my goodness, that GH. Sneaky. Faucet. Yep, no GH.
GH.
Scholars,
All right.
you got to watch out for that when you're decoding.
Two more.
left.
Two more.
Okay. Flawless. There's that OEW. Yes.
All right.
Last one. Brought. It's that tricky one, but we already have it. We got it.
Perfect. We did it. We did it. That is amazing. Now, all of our words are grouped together because of the way that they are what? Yes, spelled, because of the way they're spelled, right? So we're looking for like spellings for the aw sound.
So, let's grab our labels up here, okay? All right, scholars, let's look at this first column. Okay? How would we label this group of words?
Remember, look for the common spelling.
Common spelling.
There you go.
I heard it. We're going to label this with AL.
You have it.
And we have it right here. Awesome. Awesome.
All right. Now, scholars at home, how about this column? How are all of those spelled for the A or the aw sound? They do have an A in there,
They do.
right? Aha, that was that tricky one. It's
It
got
was
the GH.
that GH.
A-U-G-H.
Every time. Good job.
Excellent.
So, this is our third column.
Okay.
All right. That was that AU, scholars.
That's it.
Got it. Two more to go.
Perfect. All right. Now, what about this fourth column here? Aha. It's the AW spelling. So we'll label this AW.
All right, now for our final column. That was that super tricky one. Almost caught us, but it didn't. A-U-G-A. O-U-G-H.
Perfect.
O-U-G-H.
Perfect. Whoa. Look how many spellings we have for all. No wonder it's a little tricky.
Right.
O-U-G-H, A-U-G-H, lots of things happen in there. So that's why it's important for us to understand the spellings for all.
Right.
All right, now, in just a minute, Miss Summer, we are going to read a story.
Yes.
And so I want you, friends at home, to be listening and let us know if you hear any of the words or read any of the words with that all sound.
That's a great plan. Let's get prepped for our story, okay? Friends, you know in order to comprehend what we read, we have got to know how to say the words. That's why we decode. And in order to comprehend those words, that's why we decode and we need to know all their meanings. So that's why we need to look at some critical vocabulary for our text today. We've been studying ecology,
Right?
so all of our words are going to connect to ecology. Our first word is sapling. What's the word? Yes, you got it, sapling. A sapling is a young tree. You may plant a sapling in fresh soil.
Next, we have nutrient. What's the word, friends? Nutrient. A vitamin or mineral that helps living things stay healthy is a nutrient. Plants need nutrients from the soil to grow. Miss Summer, go ahead and give us our next word.
Here we have the word predator. What's the word? You got it, a predator. A predator is an animal that lives by hunting other animals. In this picture, which animal is the predator? Ah, great thinking. The lion is the predator.
All right, next we have prey. An animal that is hunted by other animals for food is known as prey. And notice here how prey is spelled. It's not spelled with an AY, it's spelled with an EY. So that'll give us a clue as to its meaning. Its meaning is hunted by other animals for food. So which animal in this picture is the prey? You've got it, the dragonfly.
This word is, well, you tell me. Decode this word using your skills, scholars. I think I heard you. Microscopic. That's right. The word is microscopic. It's a word we use to describe things so tiny they can only be seen with a microscope. What's the word? Microscopic. I could say copepods are microscopic animals.
Finally, we have apex. Apex simply means the top point. This example shows the top of a triangle. But today we will show you how apex is related to food chains and food pyramids.
Now, for a quick review of the words. Just to be sure we know them, we'll show you the picture and you tell us the word.
Nice! Prey. Animals that are hunted by other animals.
Of course. Apex, the top point.
Excellent. Ecologist. Predator, an animal that hunts other animals for food.
Good thinking. Microscopic, only able to be seen with a microscope. That's right. That's a young tree, a sapling.
Yes. Yes, nutrient. What living things need to grow and thrive.
Now you have some hearty knowledge of our vocabulary words. Since we have the meanings, we are now able to move on to our text for today.
Right. Now, of course, we already know that we're going to be reading about ecology. We already know also that ecology is the study of living things. Now, in our last lesson, we discovered some relationships between living things. We looked at the relationships between bees and flowers, right? And even squirrels and oak trees.
Yes, we did. Today's reading will be focused on food chains, okay? Let's make some predictions. What do you predict we will learn about food chains? Let's see if those predictions are correct.
Now, if we're reading the chapter Food Chains, to what page do we need to turn? Ah, there you go. Great use of the table of contents. We'll need to move to page 17. So let's go there now. Now we'll choral read this chapter. That means you'll read along with us as we read aloud. So be sure you can see all the words. As we read this very first part, we're going to read to determine what the text says is hidden from sight in the forest. Remember, what does the text say is hidden from sight in the forest? Here we go.
Now you know something about squirrels and oak trees. Each has something to offer the other. The tree may produce thousands of acorns each year, but only a few will actually sprout and become saplings. Of those saplings, only a couple will survive and grow into mighty oaks, spreading their roots and changing with the seasons. The rest of the acorns will be eaten by one creature or another. Deer eat them sometimes, and so do various birds that wander through the forest, such as turkeys and woodpeckers. The acorns that aren't eaten will get covered by leaves, soaked by rain, and frozen by snow. If they aren't eaten by worms or other underground things, some of them will sprout into saplings. In the forest ecosystem, living things depend on one another. Many living things depend on trees for shelter and food. You can almost certainly find bugs on any tree. Woodpeckers can find them too. If you dig down into the soil or scrape away some tree bark, you will discover all sorts of other critters in the forest ecosystem, such as worms, beetles, and ants. You may not see all those insects and other little critters when you look around the forest, but they are there. You can find them under leaves, rocks, and fallen trees. Mostly their world is underground and out of sight, unless you are willing to get dirty digging for them. Scholars, as we read this portion, read to find out the definition of a food chain.
What are all those bugs doing there? They're doing what all living things do, surviving. To survive, living things need food. The nutrients in food provide energy for the body. Without energy, the body stops. It's that simple. What else are bugs and other living things doing besides eating? They're doing whatever it is they need to do in order to produce young. Plants make seeds. Mammals, such as squirrels and deer, give birth to live babies. Birds and bugs lay eggs. Spiders make egg sacs, like the one in the picture. Or I should say, like the one in this image. When the sac opens, hundreds of tiny baby spiders will run out. Most of them will be eaten by other bugs. Those that survive will grow to be hunters, like their parents.
Living things also must develop ways to protect themselves from other things in the ecosystem. Squirrels build their nest high in trees, away from predators. Worms dig down into the soil. Snails and turtles have shells to protect them. Unfortunately for squirrels, worms, snails, and turtles, these defenses do not always work. The predators that hunt and eat other animals for a living have sharp teeth and claws for catching their prey.
There are ecosystems in many places. Each ecosystem has its own food chain. Look at the image of the wolf, the deer, and the acorn. This is a very simple way to think of the food chain. Smaller animals are eaten by slightly larger animals, but this image only represents a small part of a real food chain. Most food chains also include plants. They also include bacteria and other tiny microscopic organisms. Plants and smaller animals are usually near the bottom of the food chain. At the top of the food chain, you will find beasts like grizzly bears, lions, blue whales, or great white sharks. These animals are too big to be hunted by anything else. A lion or shark is called an apex predator because it is at the top of the food chain.
Expert reading. So, what is hidden from sight in the forest? Aha! All sorts of worms, beetles, and ants. And what is the definition of a food chain? There you go. A relationship of living things that food sources for other living things.
Right. Now, what were your predictions about food chains? Were they correct? Interesting thoughts. Scholars, you are progressing quite nicely on your journey of reading and understanding what you've read. So let's strengthen that last part of understanding. Okay? We have some comprehension questions for you to answer.
Miss Amanda. Okay. What if we nix the questions?
Nix the questions? Like take them out?
Yep.
Well, I mean, we kind of need questions for the question part of comprehension questions.
Yeah, I know. I got a plan. What if we turn the questions into statements so we can play agree or disagree? We'll read a statement, and our at-home friends will either agree or they will disagree, according to what we just read about food chains.
I see. All right, oh, that sounds great. So, now how will we know if our friends at home agree or disagree?
Well, that's a great point. Friends, if you agree with the statement, thumbs up. If you say, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay? If you disagree, thumbs down and say, oh, no.
All right.
Okay? Thumbs up.
Okay, all right.
Thumbs down.
All right, I agree.
Got
I
it.
think that's perfect, okay? So agree, you'll stand up and say, oh, yeah. All right, and disagree, maybe you can sit down and just say, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Okay, all right, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. First statement.
Okay?
Okay? A food chain is part of an ecosystem that describes how larger animals eat smaller animals or plants.
What do you say?
Ecologist, what do you say? Agree? Oh, yeah. Or disagree? Oh, no. Oh, yeah. You should be standing up.
Perfect. All right, here's our next statement. Only a few living things need food to survive. What do you think? Oh, no. I know you're sitting on that
I know you're
one.
sitting down.
Because all living things need some type of food to survive. That was
Yes.
great work.
Yeah. All right, listen to this statement. A worm is an apex predator. What do you think? Agree or disagree? Oh no, a worm is not an apex predator. I am glad you stayed sitting down on that one.
Right. Okay, now I've got a great one.
Okay,
I've got a great
okay.
one. All right. So, small animals are eaten by slightly larger animals. What do you think?
Oh yes, you should definitely be standing up on this one. Small animals are in fact eaten by slightly larger ones.
Right. All right, last statement for agree and disagree.
Okay.
When a spider's egg sac opens, two tiny spiders emerge. Oh no.
Oh no.
Our text said that when a spider's egg sac opens, hundreds of tiny spiders emerge.
That is too many spiders for me. No.
Me too. Ecologists, you have done it again. You have done some amazing work today.
Oh yes, I concur. I have one more thought though. Before we close up our time today, during our reading on food chains, we learned how smaller animals are consumed by slightly larger animals, all the way to the apex of the food chains.
Right?
Scholars, think of a food chain where you are the apex predator.
Oh.
What does your food chain consist of?
Okay, great thoughts. Maybe your food chain looked a little bit like this. Maybe we could add seaweed here at the bottom of our ocean habitat. All right? And then next, we know that some small fish can consume or eat that seaweed.
Yes.
Right? And we've also learned that slightly larger fish can consume smaller fish. So maybe the tuna consumes the smaller fish.
And finally, you may consume the tuna for dinner.
Exactly.
Scholars, this is just one example of many ways a human can be the apex predator of a food chain.
Exactly. Now, thanks so much, scholars, for doing your best today. All rights and credits for today's lesson belong to Core Knowledge Language Arts. We'd like to thank them for publicly sharing these valuable resources. The views and opinions expressed in this lesson are those of the Core Knowledge authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Mississippi Department of Education. Thank you so much for joining us today, scholars. We'll see you next time.